Hey everyone, today we're going to rank the 5 lyrical ride lines from set 1 that got some dress-up support in the new Festival Collection set. And we're going to rank them from worst to best. Number 5 is the worst, and we're going to rank them, in the context of the current metagame. So, we're talking about set 10 meta in Japan. There's Ava roaming around. We have Stride decks. There's Gandiva that's going to make your life really hell. So we're gonna measure those things as well, and also, they've gotten support, right? So we will measure them, with their whole support, right? With just everything that they currently have. So that's how we're gonna do it. So let's kind of get started with the worst ride line, the one that got support but still isn't good enough in my opinion. And this is pre-set release, guys. So things might change when more testing is done and more results come out, but this is just my thoughts, right? And my thoughts are Wallista is still the worst. Now, I think some people out there, maybe one person out there might be going, this is wrong. I just let's kind of break it down a bit, right? When you think about Wallista, what does Wallista actually do? Back then, it was regarded as the lyrical Zorga, right? Now Zorga is a top tier deck. It's a very competitive deck. Wallista has continued to be very middling. It did get some more support in set 2, right? It got an extra attack. And it now gets 5 attacks. How cool is that? A 5 attacking ride line. Well, everyone gets 5 attacks. 5 attacks is like the normal now. So it's just pretty average, right? It got a new gem. The gem gives you a 5th attack. It counts as both gems, right? The blue and the red gem. But it just feels like a giant band-aid. Like, instead of a gem, it's not even a gem, right? It's just like Wallista putting together 2 colors, and it's like it counts as both gems. So it just feels like a giant band-aid, and it's like every support that Wallista has gotten just feels like it's just another band-aid that's like fixing an issue from 6 months ago. I think that's putting it very, very nicely. However, there are some pluses here. You see the old, I think some of the old support lets you draw a card, right? There's a grade 1 that lets you draw a card. Drawing cards is good. I like that, and that's kind of it. I guess the other thing also is that it's not like name restricted or trait restricted. The entire set is like you can kind of put in like just Wallista support plus gems and then plus anything else you want. So in terms of text that you want to put in, that's fine, but that's like the very little pluses that this deck has. That's it. There's nothing else. There's nothing else. So unfortunately, it is the 5th place. It is the worst new ride line that we have gotten. In 4th place though, right, I'm putting Felty Rosa here. So Felty Rosa I like the new support, I'm not gonna lie. Right, the new support for Felty Rosa makes Felty Rosa do what she does, except better or more efficient, right? Unlike Wallista, where her original grade 3 was absolute garbage, the old Felty Rosa grade 3 was still okay, right? It was still not bad, and now we have like a better version of that Felty Rosa deck, so that's very, very, very cool. And then the overall support that it got around it kind of fills up the holes in the deck, so that's fine. The problems with this deck, I feel like, is 1, it's kind of piece reliant. 2, 5 attacks is like, it's like okay. It's a lot of decks kind of do that. And 3, that's all it kind of does. There's nothing really else. There's nothing that's like the X factor of the deck, except for, hey, it hits bigger now with multi-attacks compared to before, right? And I guess the extra drive checks, is kind of the nice thing, because you always have a high chance of hitting triggers or getting like multiple triggers in a single drive check, just because when you check blanks, you can call it out and then just get another drive check. So that's like the plus side going for it. But apart from that, there's some negatives that I still think kind of hold the deck back a bit when you compare to what is left, right? In 3rd place, we're going to put Alestial. So this was actually kind of hard for me. There is another deck that I feel like is in similar power, but in the current metagame, Alestial just feels not as good, because again, when we talk about set 10 meta, basically every single deck kind of has retire right now. So we have Gandiva roaming around that's being very, very annoying and retiring all your stuff. But then you have like Jet and like Messiah that gets rid of 1 card, not too devastating, but still kind of annoying when you understand how this deck works. Then you have like Drajuled, which also retires 2. And then even Ebisu retires things, and they can retire more as well, which makes it very annoying. I think like a Blackwing Celestial deck would be very nice, and right now, well, maybe a few metas back, it was kind of scary back then too, because you'd make a lot of attacks with those Blackwings in the back row that can attack, and now you have like an even more attack because you have like an Celestial that can kind of re-ride. So overall, I feel like there is potential with this deck just because of the ceiling, the number of attacks it can get while minusing your power. Kind of feels like Wellstrike, but Wellstrike can retire you, so that's bad. But yeah, just the amount of attacks plus just the overall aggression that it can do is very nice. The advantage wise is just not that great, but you know, overall, like the support that this deck kind of got is still pretty good. So I think Celestial, right, the wings are not in a bad shape, right? They're not in a bad shape. You like just thinking about it, if you can like get both wings, if you can get the grade 3 and bind that, you can kind of just really go like super power, right? Super power is just make a bunch of attacks, the minus your opponent's power, then like, you know, re-ride into the original, and then you have a crit on your Vanguard and minusing their power again, and then you're like, whoa, can you guard this? I don't know, and then they suddenly die, right? I think that's pretty cool. So that's why Celestial is 3. But number 2, right? There's a difference between 3 and 2. That's Clarissa. So why is Clarissa here? Clarissa is very piece reliant. When you think about it, I need to have urns correct everywhere, right? My whole field has to be urns correct. The reason why like Clarissa gets slightly better, because Clarissa does have more recovery options when it comes to if your field gets retired. Like there are more ways to get it back. And the new support that she got, you know, the biggest weakness of this deck, one was that if you don't consecutively get orders, you get kind of punished. So, well, your pressure drops, and then they feel bad, and like, you know, you just don't get anything you want. Now you have like more active ways of grabbing your order, so you pretty much never miss your order. So you'll always be able to hit multiple things, which counts as a retire, which is pretty good in this current metagame. And then you'll hit more, so you get to draw more cards. But at the same time, your new Clarissa also kind of fixes the problem where if you play against a deck that doesn't put stuff on the board, you can still, if you hit once, you get to draw 2. So that's already a pretty good trade. And you get a bunch of power. The other problem with this deck that kind of doesn't fix it is that it's slightly slow. You have if you go first, you have a grade 3 turn that doesn't do much. But now you get 5 attacks, so that's also pretty good. So overall, compared to everything under it, it has like the nice little X factor where it can attack multiple things. Its weaknesses have kind of been resolved, which is basic. Well, most of them have been like resolved or fixed or like kind of buffed up, so it's like less impactful with what Festival Collection actually does. It just kind of fixed up all the bad problems you had before. And then, you know, if you had like another X factor with your ride line, then kudos to you. If you don't, then you just feel bad. You're like here, right? That's it. I used to be the Zorga, but now Zorga is way better than me, right? That's pretty much how it is. And then Clarissa kind of fits that bill just because, yeah, again, you know, nice recovery tools. So better recovery tools than everything else, and drawing cards is good. So if you hit something, you draw cards, big plus. And unsurprisingly, Lauren Roll is the top tier, right? I think I talked about yesterday why Lauren Roll is good compared to all the other ride lines here, right? Look at this. Look at this. She's similar to Willista in the way that you aren't limited to like a totally super gimmick, right? You look at this girl, Belturiza. I need everything to be ghosts. Okay, that's not Lauren Roll. All right, with wings, I need everything to be black or white wings. Right? No issue. And then Clarissa, I need everyone to be my posse. No, don't need them. You just have to run Lauren Roll and some songs, and you're at karaoke. Right? That's very nice. That means you can run random texts and stuff. So that's a good thing. But also you have a nice gimmick, right? They fixed the song. Well, they fixed the problem where you don't get songs. So that's good. You have a great base version of Lauren Roll, and then the new one lets you accelerate a bit faster, and you have guard restrict. So that's your X factor. You have guard restrict. Guard restrict is probably one of the best things to have in a format where you have over triggers. So big nice extra drive 2. You also draw a bunch of cards with your old grade 2. So I don't know. There's like, it just naturally is the best. It's the best ride line. You know, it just has everything and slightly more. In terms of where Lauren Roll and the rest of these will fit in the current meta. Also, she's not piece reliant. Like she's song reliant. But unlike like the other ones where you need stuff on the board, she doesn't need that much stuff. right? She's like the best girl, right? Cat girls pretty much are the best. So why are we even discussing this? You know? Yeah. So anyway, where she fits in the current metagame, I think she's not top tier. Probably not even tier 2, to be honest. That's crazy when you think about it, right? I think power-wise, there's a lot of stuff that's really strong. Might be like somewhere in tier 3 when you think about it. I have to think, like, there's going to need to be way more testing. This is just my opinions, of course, right? We just got the cards. We just saw the cards. Probably won't buy it in time just because I'd rather play in the tournament or Daivang side. So yeah. But yeah, let me know what you guys all think. Is my ranking correct? Is Wallista really that bad, right? Is something else should be rank 1? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you all next time. Maybe I'll make a tier list for standard. Bye.